Lesson 17. I see no neutral things.
Hi there. Ready for another mind-blowing and eye-opening exercise from A Course in Miracles? Lesson 17 delves into how our thoughts determine the world we see. In other words, it focuses on the idea that our projections come before our perceptions.
I see no neutral things.
With yesterday's lesson, we trained our minds on the idea that we have no neutral thoughts.
Lesson 16. I have no neutral thoughts.
We learned that each thought we have can take us either to heaven or to hell, or as we put it yesterday, we can have true thoughts or false thoughts, and these thoughts create their own likeness. False thoughts lead us to perceive the world of illusions, the world of fear and darkness. True thoughts, on the other hand, guide us toward a completely different perception. They open us up to the vision of a world of love, a world aligned with the ultimate reality of God's creation. As yesterday's lesson emphasized, there is no middle ground, and we can only see one world at a time. With today's lesson, we're going to take it a step further and understand the implications of what we learned yesterday. We're undertaking a reversal of the thought system of the world, particularly concerning cause and effect in our lives. We've taken for granted all our lives that the things we see in the world affect our thoughts. We believe that something happens in the world, and that event causes us to think a certain way in response. Guess what? In truth, that's not how it works. As A Course in Miracles teaches us, it's not the things we see that influence our thoughts, rather, it's our thoughts that shape how we see things.
It is always the thought that comes first, despite the temptation to believe that it is the other way around.
And that's not the end of the story either. As we've seen yesterday, since we have no neutral thoughts, then the logical conclusion of what we've discussed before is that we don't see neutral things either. Of course, the world thinks exactly the opposite, and so we've been conditioned to think that way all our life. So, let's take our first steps to change that and adhere to a more empowering perspective today. In doing our exercises, we will start with our eyes open, and we will say to ourselves,
I see no neutral things because I have no neutral thoughts.
I see no neutral things because I have no neutral thoughts.
I see no neutral things because I have no neutral thoughts.
Then, we will look around us, and as our glance rests on each thing, we will say,
I do not see a neutral thing because my thoughts about this thing are not neutral.
For example,
I do not see a neutral wall because my thoughts about walls are not neutral.
I do not see a neutral body because my thoughts about bodies are not neutral.
I don't see a neutral car because my thoughts about cars are not neutral. I don't see a neutral dog because my thoughts about dogs are not neutral.
as usual, we should be quite random in selecting the subjects for the application of the idea. It doesn't matter if they are animate or inanimate, pleasant or unpleasant, and so on. The Course says that at this stage, we might not be able to truly see anything that is alive or genuinely joyous.
Regardless of what you may believe, you do not see anything that is really alive or really joyous. That is because you are unaware as yet of any thought that is really true, and therefore really happy.
Interesting, isn't it? Let's aim for 3 or 4 practice periods today, and even if we experience a little resistance, let's try to do them at least 3 times. If we do experience resistance, however, we can reduce the practice duration to less than the minute that is otherwise recommended.
I see no neutral things because I have no neutral thoughts.
I see no neutral things because I have no neutral thoughts.
I see no neutral things because I have no neutral thoughts.
How incredible are these exercises? Can you imagine all the ramifications that these early applications of these ideas from A Course in Miracles will have along the lines of our lives? You're doing great! See you tomorrow for another powerful lesson. Quick reminder, if you haven't yet watched the introduction to this video series, be sure to do so, as it lays the foundation for our journey together. Just click on the video link that will appear on your screen shortly.
Did you enjoy the video and find it helpful? Please give it a like and leave a comment. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. We have a new lesson every day. And if you've been with us for a while, please consider supporting the channel. There's a lot of love behind these videos. Check out the video description for more details.